NFL Daily, Mitchell Rance, Tom Downey. It's time to get into a lot of these questions. This first one's coming in from Panthers 71. With another Panthers loss, do you draft a quarterback like Trey Lance?
I would strongly consider it, be it a Trey Lance or one of Zach Wilson, Justin Fields falling down to you. Maybe you consider a trade-up even. You're going to be around that quarterback draft range. You're 4-9 right now. Teams 4 through 8 are all 4-9 in the draft order.
But you paid Teddy 3 years, $63.
Yeah, that's not much. You can get out of that contract after a year. I think Trey Lance and or Zach Wilson, you probably want to give them a year. So you could do something that not that many teams have the luxury of doing. Playing Teddy Bridgewater for one more year and or just trading him to a team that needs a stopgap quarterback. Bringing your quarterback along slower. Matt Rule's got plenty of time in Carolina. He signed, I think it was a 7-year deal, if I'm remembering correctly.
7 years.
He doesn't have to win next year immediately. He can draft a Lance or a Wilson and give them time to develop. So if you're in quarterback draft range and you're convinced Lance, Wilson, Fields, whomsoever is your guy, you take him. No-brainer.
Sinai Sanchez, what's going on? If Anthony Lynn gets fired, who would replace him to coach the Chargers?
I like Brian Dable there a lot. I think because of the offensive success he's had with Josh Allen, I think from a style of offense, Herbert can move too.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to modify that much to what we know works for him in Buffalo. I think you want to get a guy who's going to just provide some stability for Justin Herbert. I don't want to go with a random defensive mind and then lose my OC after a year. I want to have my play caller with Justin Herbert for at least the next 2 to 3 years.
Right.
Going offensive mind, I can assure that.
Are you and I both in agreement that Anthony Lynn is going to be the last year he coaches
Dude,
the Chargers?
you can't manage the game clock, and they always lose close games, so yeah, probably.
I'm with you. Russell, get a picture. Do you think that Cam will stay, and if not, where do you think he'll go? I mean, if I'm the Patriots, if you don't know what you're going to do, I'll say next year in terms of bringing in another quarterback, you maybe keep Cam Newton.
Yeah,
however,
you can keep him on the cheap.
Think about how bad Cam Newton's. I mean, he had 4 passing touchdowns the first 2 weeks. Since then, it's been atrocious. Now, there's not a lot of talent around him. And the one thing that Bill Belichick's never really been able to do is put talent at the wide receiver position. But for me, man, I'm going to pass on Cam.
His past 3 games, and I know it's a different style of offense, 119, 69, 84 through the air. You can bring it back on the cheap if you want, but I think at this stage in Newton's career, unfortunately, this was his chance to prove himself, and it didn't work out. He's just not the same guy anymore. It sucks.
So what we want you to do is go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports. Smash that sub button. You see it right underneath the video. It's that big red button that says subscribe. If you can't find it, guess what? We're going to put it in the live chat. It's also in the description that you see down below, and I'm also going to put it in the comments. Subscribe. Don't miss anything, because guess what? We're keeping you updated on all things around the NFL. Literally a video every single 3 hours. This next one's coming in from Greg Douglas. Okay. Hey, Mitch. I saw a rumor that the Raiders are going to trade Derek Carr in a second for Carson Wentz. Thoughts?
I got thoughts, but I'll let you go first.
That's the dumbest trade idea I've ever seen. I don't know where you got that one from, but whoever's putting that together is an idiot. I mean, why would you downgrade at quarterback and give up a second-round pick? I mean, for the Raiders, you want to hold on to your draft picks. And Carr, I'm not saying that he's a top 8 quarterback. He's probably a fringe top 10. But you can pay him $21 million, $19 million over the next 2 years. He's got one of the best contracts, I think, for the level of quarterback that he is.
But Mitch, the Raiders have better offensive playmakers like Nelson Aguilar.
That's true. That's funny.
I think you're right. Just
it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. You are downgrading a quarterback, giving up a draft pick, and paying the new quarterback more.
It's like,
no, you're taking Derek Carr.
What if the Raiders got a second-round pick and Carson Wentz and traded away Carr?
No, because I don't want to downgrade a quarterback. And Wentz is a downgrade as we sit right now.
Clearly. So, better long-term quarterback, because I think that's the only thing like you could possibly throw at me. I mean, obviously Carson Wentz was once an MVP candidate. So was Derek Carr. But if you were running an organization, if you were trying to plan for the long-term, let's say 5 to 10-year window, who do you think would be the better option, Carr or Wentz?
Carr's only a year and a half older.
Thank you.
So I know I'm thinking like, oh, Wentz is younger.
You took my point, but that's exactly what I was going to say.
Carr's not that much older than Wentz. Wentz is going to turn 28 at the end of the month.
Thank you.
If maybe you think you can fix Carson Wentz, but I know Derek Carr got fixed already because he was a former MVP candidate who had a couple rough years and now is either being allowed or forced to go deep downfield, and it's working. So I'm going to go DC, which is not something I would have said entering this year. I never would have said it. Maybe we'll change again, but
I'm guilty.
I'm going DC.
I would have said Carson Wentz beginning of the year. It's clearly DC right now. Gundy, Wundy, if Big Ben retires, could the Steelers take a quarterback round 1, and who?
Here's the problem with going quarterback in round 1. With where Pittsburgh will be drafting, which at best case draft pick-wise is going to be like,
25 and down.
20. Well, they could lose in the wild card. They could be picking like 24.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range. Maybe something wild happens and they end up picking 23. But at that point, you're not going to be, unless you trade up, in Trevor Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, or Lance range. So at that point, you're down to Kyle Trask or Mac Jones. I'm not convinced those are my guys.
Not either.
I think they could have some success in the Steelers' offense, but honestly, I'm just worried that Kyle Trask is the next Mason Rudolph, so I don't love that. If I'm Pittsburgh, what I would do
get somebody in free agency, man.
Either trade up, go all in, or sign a stopgap in free agency and just try and like kick the can down the year and wait till you're in. Top quarterback
I think you do
range.
Exactly what the Colts tried to do. You get a guy, a veteran quarterback like Phillip Rivers. I mean,
like that.
You have an elite defense. You have a lot of elite playmakers around the quarterback. I mean, we see.
Trade for Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love.
Oh my! I mean, hey, you get Aaron Rodgers on that team, that would be fun. But honestly, get a quarterback, stopgap, 1-2 years max. All right, this one's coming in from Chill Will. Any trade partners for Bum Wentz?
As we've mentioned before on the show, the issue with trading Wentz is that you've got a quarterback at his absolute lowest value. I mean, we just saw a second-round rookie, Jalen Hurts, outplay him.
Clearly.
That's troubling, and he's expensive. It's not even a one-year rental. With the way that deal is structured, it's really a 2-year commitment of $25 million per year.
Yep.
I mean, even if you're a team like the Colts, Rivers is better right now.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's that Frank Reich connection. Does that intrigue you? Maybe the Saints if Drew Brees retires, but even that's like kind of that's a stretch.
That's a team that doesn't have money long term.
Yeah, and those teams don't have a lot of money because they paid quarterbacks in recent years.
Sure.
Now you can make it work if you want to, but
the Bears.
If the Bears keep Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace,
it could be a move they would do.
Because I think you're probably going to try and find a team that needs a quarterback now.
Carson Wentz, Nick Foles. That's a Super Bowl, baby.
You don't have time to wait for a young guy to develop because you might get fired. So maybe the Bears make sense there.
Broncos.
I think they'd prefer to go with Drew Lock at that point. So
I'm just trying to throw out names.
I know you are. It's not. You're not
easy.
You're not in a great spot. So someone might step up if you give him a 5th-round pick. But I don't
Imagine
know.
That.
It's
a 5th-round
tricky.
pick for Carson Wentz.
An Eagles guy, he's going to net a 1st-rounder back. No, he's not. There's a 0% chance of that.
No, we got a 1st-round deal going on right now. If you need a new
nice.
jersey going on, Jalen Hurts
He was a 2nd
jerseys.
rounder.
Oh, all right, you win. Chatsports.com/jersey deal. We got you covered here. NFL jerseys under $80. Hell, some of them as low as $59.99. Not just like the crappy players. Like
Here's a 1st-rounder.
There's a lot of very good players for $59.99. Awesome holiday deals going on at chatsports.com/jersey deal. That's a 1st-rounder. You can go ahead and get it in the comments and in the description. These deals, though, they're not going to last long. When we show a deal like this, I'm just being honest with you.
Got him again. He wasn't ready for it.
Go ahead. Take advantage of the deal.
If you hadn't mocked me, I wouldn't have done it the other time. I wasn't going to do it for Burrow.
Chatsports.com/jersey deal. That's a 1st-rounder.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it.
That's what I thought. All right, everyone. Seriously, go get yourself an NFL jersey. I'm going to kick Tom off the show.
We had a 2nd-rounder come up. We're going to do it there, though.
Chatsports.com/jersey deal. All right, what do we got? Reverse flash. Bengals trade A.J. Green and Drew Sample to the Eagles for a 1st round and Geno Atkins and a 4th round to the Cowboys for another 1st-rounder. What are your thoughts?
Eagles, Cowboys say no. Eagles are fine at tight end. They got 2 better ones, and Zach Ertz, who might have been with the team very much longer, but whatever, and Dallas Goedert. A.J. Green's a free agent, so you have to tag and trade him, and he's not worth a 1st-rounder.
No.
Geno Atkins in a 4th is not worth a top 10 pick. Like, you're getting 2 top 10 picks, potentially, for A.J. Green, Drew Sample, and Geno Atkins. Not even Madden says yes to that one. So, honestly, a 4th for Geno, that's more in line with value, I think, given the way he's played this year. I don't think that's going to be a path that the Bengals are realistically able to pursue.
I'm laughing at this next question here. A real Cowboys fan, Westry locked A.J. Green up. We should definitely start him now.
Yeah, Westry actually didn't play that well. 1 target, and it was allowed for a catch. Now, he did get like 10 snaps total and was fine for most of them, but no, he should not be starting for you.
This is maybe the craziest name I've ever seen. Who are you? Who pours milk before cereal?
Gotta get the cereal wet, man.
Do you think
Pour it
Raheem
after.
Morris will be the next Raiders DC? I personally do not. If you guys want to check out a video that I just put on the Raiders channel, youtube.com/Raiders Report, I break down my top 10 defensive coordinator candidates. That's a lot of C's.
Defensive coordinator candidates. You
There
threw
you
coach
go.
in there for no reason.
Yep. So basically, Paul Gunther replacements. The Raiders fired their DC. I got my top 10, but Raheem Morris, no, didn't make my list. All right, we got Joe. What up, Joey? Is Jalen Hurts good, or was the Saints game a fluke? I think it's a little bit of both.
I mean, I think that the common thread I want to emphasize here is that life gets harder the more games you play as an NFL quarterback.
You get more tape.
Especially early on in your career because there's more tape, and coaches are smart. They adjust, and I think you'll see teams try and force Hurts to roll to his left where he's not as good rolling out because that's what we saw at Oklahoma. And if you can take away the ground game, he really wasn't the best of the air. Now, he was better than Carson Wentz. He played fine. But I think you'll see teams adjust and be able to stop that offense, and then it's on Hurts to adjust.
I also think, though, I mean, let's also point the finger. The Saints' offense was horrible.
Yeah, because they've also got a not quarterback
If they're
playing.
put in a game where Jalen had to actually throw it, it's a much different game script where he can't run the football. So
I say Hurts is, again, what I said.
He was impressive. He looked much better than what I ever thought he was going to play.
Again, his running ability makes him at minimum a viable backup quarterback, which we just saw this week against the Saints.
Great
now,
fantasy
can
quarterback.
he be more than that? Let's see what happens these final 3 games and with the way things are going early next season, too.
This one's coming in from Falcon Fan ATL. Okay. If I was Matt Ryan, okay, this is fun. Would you rather be traded to the Patriots or the 49ers? It's a fun and interesting question. Obviously, I get the connections there, but if I'm Matt Ryan, man, I want to go to the San Francisco 49ers, where the best season I've ever had, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, was under Kyle Shanahan as my offensive coordinator. Plus, the 49ers are set up more to win right now and make that Super Bowl push. What about you? What do you think?
Playmakers. I think the Niners make some sense. I have a 3-team trade. As you guys get your votes in here, better Matt Ryan fit. P for the Patriots, 4 for the 49ers.
Where are you going?
Matt Ryan goes to the 49ers.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo goes back to the Patriots, and picks of some type go to the Falcons. Who says no?
Damn,
I think it makes
that's
sense.
a hell of a 3-way.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
That's great.
Now, the picks is kind of the tricky part there, but Patriots upgrade at quarterback. Niners upgrade at quarterback.
Okay.
We know that Belichick loves Garoppolo.
Dude,
I think it
sold.
works.
I'm sold on this idea.
I don't know what the
If you guys like the idea,
is.
like the video, I'll tell you what, that screen record that, put that on Twitter. Let's get that going. But for the question that is up on screen, better Matt Ryan fit, P for the Patriots, 4 for the 49ers. No surprise. Looks like 90% of the votes coming in right now are for the 49ers. Bob the Pickle. Who? Pat's draft.
It depends on where they're drafting. They're 6 and 7 right now. They're in that mid-teens range. If they lose out and finish, 6 and 10, they might just barely be at the back end of Trey Lance or even realistic trade up for a quarterback range. I think at the end for the Patriots, offense probably their focus there, be it a quarterback or a playmaker in the receiving game. I think Kyle Pitts would thrive there. Florida tight end / receiver.
Oh, man, another Florida tight end going to the Patriots. What could go
He's
wrong?
good.
Hey, y'all, if you have any questions you want to ask me, hit me up on Instagram. I'm at MitchellReds365. My DMs, they are open, and yes, I will check them after every single show we do. If you want to hit up Tom, he's on Twitter at WhatGoingDown. The NFL draft, all NFL questions. Again, his DMs are open. Obviously, we get a lot of questions that come on our live shows. Can't get to them all, but Tom and I do really predicate ourselves on being able to give you guys as much information as humanly possible. So go ahead, follow him and me, Twitter, Instagram. Our DMs are open. This next one coming in from Jacob Rocks. All right, that's what you think. No, I'm kidding. What do you think J.J. Watt is going to do? Stay with the Texans or go somewhere else? And if he goes somewhere else, where?
I think he stays. I think
I do too.
When ownership sits down with GM and head coach meetings, they're going to be like, the pitch is going to be from those guys, we're close. I can win with this team now. And that pitch is going to be, I'm keeping J.J. Watt, which will fit because ownership in the city team loves J.J. Watt. So I think he sticks around at least for one more year. Then we'll see how his body holds up and what happens long term.
Where do you think the most likely place is? Because I know where I think he goes.
You want to go to Pittsburgh.
I do. It makes sense.
Not from a need perspective.
Well, what happens if they can't re-sign some of their big-name guys, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but those are other positions, not another 3-4 defensive end. Like, they have Cam Hayward already.
Sure.
They don't need another one of those guys. They got to spend the money elsewhere. So I think a team would throw money at him. They don't have the same need, but Green Bay homecoming could be fun.
Oh, that's true.
Also not a huge need, but just throwing it out there.
Phoenix Gamer 34. Is the Bears 2021 starting quarterback on their roster right now, or no? I don't think
Well,
so.
who are the decision makers for this team?
That's true.
If Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are back, then yes, it's going to be Trubisky or Foles.
I think both of those guys need to get canned. They've
missed 3-4 times now on quarterbacks. You can't miss that many times and get another shot.
I mean, if you're a Bears fan, Phoenix, I know Harrison Graham on our Bears channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. He's putting out videos around Nagy replacements.
Long term, Chicago's put themselves.
I can't think of the other replacement
Pace.
video. Pace, there you go.
GM Ryan Pace. The Bears put themselves in a rough spot long term.
Yeah.
Because they're 6-7. Even if they lose out, you're probably not going to be a top 10 pick team. So you're really out of quarterback range. So they got to trade up to go get a QB. That's not exactly ideal. Ideal long-term Chicago move, which is not how the team and players and ownership felt, would have been to lose out a couple weeks ago and get that higher pick.
Not great. All right, Nathaniel Ruiz, appreciate the question. It's going to be the last question, so if you want to get your question put on the show, you got a super chat. Who has been some of the best day 3 rookies so far this season? So best day 3 rookies. Well, Tom, you can look up some day 3. I'm going to shout out some UDFAs.
Remember, that is round 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, so for me, you can look up those type. I'm also going to shout out some guys like a Travis Fulgham, a great UDFA this year. I'm going to shout out a guy like James Robinson, who's been probably the biggest surprise in the entire National Football League. But any day 3 rookies that
I'm going to try to go like round by round here, just mention some guys. I think Joshua Kelly's made an impact for the Chargers.
Okay.
Round 4, I think that kind of matters there. Lucky Fotu's played a decent amount for the Cardinals. I think one of the guys I missed on, Mikael Walker, round 4 pick by the Falcons. He's actually played pretty darn well this year. Beyond that, I'm looking at as I go through this list here, Darnell Mooney for the Bears made a nice little impact.
When was Blankenship drafted?
Kickers don't count. They're not people.
I mean, he's been great.
They don't count. They're not people, man. Colin Johnson, Quintez Cephas, Jags, and Lions receivers, respectively, have made a decent impact on Mooney. Again, a round 5 guy there. Now I'm getting deeper and deeper. Donovan Peoples-Jones has 2 touchdowns this year. Jake Luton's a 6th-round rookie. He played quarterback for Jacksonville. I feel like that kind of counts a little bit. Jordan Fuller, round 6 Rams, safety out of Ohio State. He's been good.
All right, we're done with nerdy Tom over here naming off guys.
Not Ben DiNucci. There you go.
We did just actually get a super chat, so we're going to go to that. Much appreciated from Female Body Inspector. What do you think will happen to Carson Wentz after this season?
It's a great question. I don't know. He is in a rough contract spot from the Eagles' perspective where they can't cut him.
Yep.
And a new team might not want to commit what in reality is more of a 2-year, $50 million deal for a quarterback who is coming off a terrible season and whose mechanics look broken, by the way. So investing $225 to fix someone, that's a big risk.